Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eric and I like to read. So this past weekend, I got to go home and visit family for the first time in 6 months. So I thought it'd be a fun idea to ask my mom and dad what books they would recommend to you guys if they could recommend a book. And I also met up with a couple of my friends and asked them to give you book recommendations as well. So yeah, this will be a fun little video, and these are the recommendations that they came up with for you. Hey guys, so this is Neil, and I'm going to be asking my friends and family what books they would recommend to you guys and why they like these books. So Neil, what book would you recommend to the audience?
I would recommend Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. It's the first dystopian novel I ever read, and it really kind of, galvanized an interest in that genre. So yeah, it's a really good one.
That's really cool. I've heard about Oryx and Crake, but I have never read it. Yeah, okay, so that sounds like an interesting one. So yeah, I'll definitely be looking that one up eventually too. So yeah, that's Neil's recommendation. Go check it out. So other than Oryx and Crake, are there any other books that you would recommend that you enjoyed reading?
So kind of going off the dystopian theme, Red Rising is like my all-time favorite series.
Yeah, Red Rising. It's funny because Neil actually was the one that told me to read Red Rising, and that kind of sparked my whole love for that series. Like, you guys even know my channel icon is me holding that book. So yeah, so I'm grateful to Neil for telling me about that one. But yeah, any others?
So that's like my favorite. And then there's another one called Prince of Thorns. So it's kind of like a fun, like futuristic, kind of like technology versus like mysticism. So it's a fun one. And then there's one called Rule of Three. So it's kind of the same dystopian concept, something's happened to the world, people have to survive, and it's like, what do people do when, stuff hits the fan?
Right, and I actually, well, you guys saw my recent book haul, I got one of the books for the Rule of Three series, which I still have not read, and it's just sitting on my shelves. So the fact that Neil's recommending it means I should probably read it, because I clearly like his recommendations. Well, thanks for being on the channel.
Perfect.
Yeah, cool. So this is my mom, Karen.
Hi.
And she's going to give you her book recommendation.
Okay, the book I'm recommending, it's called Her One Mistake, and it's by Heidi Perks. And I don't actually have a copy of the book with me because I've lent it out to friends and it's circulating somewhere.
So I'll show you guys a picture of it here.
Okay, the book is about two women that are friends, and the one woman asks her friend if she would look after her daughter, her 4-year-old daughter, for an afternoon while she goes to an appointment. So the friend takes her own children plus her friend's daughter to an amusement park for the afternoon, and they go into like a bouncy castle type thing. And so while they're in there, the woman's looking at her phone and checking her email and whatnot, and then her own children come out, but her friend's daughter doesn't come out, so they all go looking for her. And she's nowhere to be found. She's vanished. And yeah, that's the main plot of the book.
That sounds like a very interesting book. I think I would even be pulled into that. So why was this the book you chose for your recommendation?
Well, it's very intriguing and it keeps your interest, and it makes you want to find out what's happening. There's a lot of twists and turns, and it's actually the book that I've read the fastest out of all the books I read. And I was actually still working at the time before I retired, and I couldn't wait to get home from work to pick up my book and read it. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It really keeps your interest.
That's actually a really good sign of a good book, knowing that you want to avoid other things to come home just to read that book. That's the feeling that I get when I find a book that I really enjoy. So that is a good thing. And yeah, that sounds like a great recommendation. I think some of these people should check that out. Maybe I'll even check that out. I'll see if I can find it at the secondhand bookstore.
Okay, well, if anyone reads it, enjoy.
Yeah, thanks for your recommendation, Mom.
You're welcome.
So this is my dad, Mike.
Hi.
And he is not much of a reader. He doesn't read that much now, but he does have a book that he remembered from his childhood that he really enjoyed reading, and so he's going to tell you about it.
Well, this book is, there's two books to it. One's called Hans Brinker by Mary Mapes Dodge.
Yep.
And then it's a flip side to it, which is the book of Heidi by Joanna Spyri. Now the book, again, as Eric said, when I was younger, about maybe 10 or so, I read this book, and what I really was interested about Hans Brinker was it's a story about a 15-year-old boy. Him and his younger sister, they want to compete in a ice skating race on the canal in the Netherlands, and the prize is to win these wonderful skates. So that's kind of a bit about the story about them and the challenges that they go on with their life. On the Heidi, on the other hand, though, it's about a little young girl who was orphaned, and she had to go and live with her grandfather, who she hardly knew, in the Swiss Alps. So the story takes place in Switzerland there too, and there's a lot of interesting things that go on through in her life as well. So again, as Eric said, I'm not much of a reader, but this is one of the books that I really did enjoy. Yep.
As you guys can tell, I got most of my love for reading from my mom.
That's true.
But yeah, anyways, I'll give you guys like a closer look at this. So this is the front cover, or I guess one of the covers of Hans Brinker, and then the flip side is Heidi. And as you can see, this is a well-worn book. Dad has kept this for a very long time, so that shows that he did really like the book. Anyways, thanks Dad for your recommendation.
Welcome.
And yeah. So this is Liz. If any of you have been watching my channel for a while, you would have seen her on our video where she got me to guess book plots and I had a bandana on. That was a really fun video, but now today she's going to tell you guys about a book that she would like to recommend.
This is the book that I chose to recommend. It's actually the first book in a series that is probably my favorite book series ever. The book itself is called Bitten, and it's by Kelly Armstrong. I actually got this one signed. Kind of fun. But anyway, so this book is about the women of the other world, is the whole series. And this one's about Elena Michaels. She is a human turned werewolf, and it's about her kind of like navigating her life and trying to balance human life with supernatural life. There's a lot of mystery. There's a lot of things going on. So throughout the series, every book kind of has like a big bad. And
That's cool.
So this one, her pack is trying to help her overcome all these obstacles and like figure out who's like killing off members of their pack. So
That's really cool.
yeah, it's technically considered adult horror, and it can be kind of like gory and graphic at times with like the way that they describe things. There's a little bit of erotica kind of mixed in there, which I mean, personally, I thought was like really fun in high school when I couldn't like get away with buying anything.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to get down and dirty with a werewolf every once in a while, right?
Right, and it's actually funny. So her main love interest is Clayton, which is my boyfriend's name now. And when I met him, and I was like, this just makes you hotter. I don't know. Like, I'm just picturing you as like a southern werewolf now.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. If you ever started reading it, the fun thing about the series is that it's the same protagonist for the first 2 books. And in the second book, it'll introduce another character. And then the book after that will be from their perspective and their life. Oh. So you see like covens of witches, you see vampires, you see
I was gonna say
ghosts. Like it's always changing, so you never get tired of storyline.
When you look at this cover, like my first instinct was vampires, and I'm pretty sure I said that to you. I was like, yeah, this looks like a vampire book, of course.
Yeah, I don't actually think there's any vampires in this one. I think the blood is just because it was like bitten.
That's
she
cool.
was bitten, and that's how she turned.
Yeah, that's cool though. So it's essentially like a long running book series of like supernatural stories.
Exactly, and all of the protagonists are women, which is also really cool because they're just like these like badass ladies.
Yeah, badass female characters
taking
are the best.
down all of the bad people.
We've had many of those, and they're awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, super cool book series, great book.
Awesome.
I think I read it in 3 days because I was obsessed.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. So everybody I've talked to so far has said that like the book that they recommend they've read so fast, and like that's what I've been saying is like that's a good sign of a good book. If you can just like nonstop keep reading and not put it down, then you know it's good.
Like the one that you got me, Fangirl.
Yeah, I know. What like it took me a while to pick it up, but once I did pick it up, I read it really quickly. And I kept wanting to jump back into it. So.
Oh yeah, so good.
Yeah. Well, anyways, thanks for giving your recommendation, and thanks for being in this video.
Thanks for having me. Nice to meet you all.
And that's all the recommendations that I have gathered through friends and family for you guys. I know I'm going to be checking out some of those books on Goodreads and seeing what they're all about, seeing how they're rated, but because everybody recommended them to me, like I'll definitely look them up. My mom was actually very excited to be filming a clip with me on this channel because I found out she's been watching me for a while now. I didn't actually know, like I knew she was watching, but I didn't know she was that excited about it. So she is looking forward to filming more clips with me in the future when I visit her again. So that won't be the last time you see her on my channel. Anyways, if you guys want to support me, I have a Patreon, which will be down in the description down below. You know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I post videos every Monday and Thursday. And until next time, keep on reading.